India's top 12 pen and ink persons, an Inky Dozen, and their doyens. People keep asking me about the men and women who straddle the Indian fountain pen and ink space. People who are the movers and shakers of the industry. So here goes, in an alphabetical order.
Aditya Banshali Endless. This is the young brigade from Chennai. They create fountain pens, inks, run a super successful e-commerce platform, and are the people behind the hugely successful Chennai Pen Show. What is more, these Midas guys, Aditya Banshali and this fellow mavericks have the knack for turning everything they touch into gold. They are erudite, ambitious, and young. A lethal combination.
Anuj Poddar, AP Limited Edition. Anuj Poddar shuns the glare of publicity and quietly lets his creations do the talking for him. And what creations? His AP Limited Edition pens, crafted in Japan by acknowledged masters of the art, hint at aesthetics that border on the surreal. He also heads a successful e-commerce portal where he offers winners like Kaweco, Visconti, Nahvalur, and others.
Arun Singhi Lotus. Arun Singhi is the grand old man of Indian fountain pens. A prolific creator, his brainchild Lotus Pens has created a niche in the market and is often considered to be the yardstick against which other manufacturers measure their success. Unassuming to a fault, this universally respected gentleman is indeed a role model for many.
Avasthi Brothers can write. Kanpur Writers is by far the biggest nib manufacturer in India with a swoon-worthy export portfolio. The way Ken Wright is steadily increasing its portfolio of nibs and pens, don't forget the pens, is really creditable. They also seem to be among the few in the industry who have a very efficient third generation ready to take charge.
Harsh Gagwani Click Pens. Harsh Gagwani is at the helm of a fountain pen empire where sheer numbers count. Both as an OEM and a brand owner, he has scaled the peaks with models that rule their respective segments. Click, perhaps, is the most known mass brand in India.
Hiren Kana Khara, Magna Carta. Magna Carta pens are ostentatious, just like the man who makes them. Aimed at the higher end of the markets they operate in, Hiren Kana Khara is also credited with creating an overseas market for his products. The way he has toured the pen show circuit in the West is really praiseworthy.
Kaushik Mehta Sulekha. Sulekha is by far the oldest surviving brand in this list, founded as it was in 1934. Its Swadeshi credentials are impeccable, as are its adherence to quality norms and its single-minded devotion to popularizing handwriting in general and the use of fountain pens and inks in particular. In terms of sheer popular recall, it stands head and shoulders above the rest.
Nikhil Ranjan Schiffer. Nikhil Ranjan is the colossus of the Indian pen, ink, and accessories industry. He started with William Penn, where he was a prime mover into the e-commerce domain and showed early promise by acquiring international brands like Lapis Bard. However, since then, he has reached the stratosphere by acquiring the marquee brand Schiffer, which secures him in a league of his own.
Pandu Rangan Ranga. Ranga has been churning out functional eye candies by the dozens and has an enviable fan following around the globe. Their pens are functionally superb and pleasing to the eye, catering to a price bracket that is witnessing steady growth. Overall, Ranga must be lauded for the way they have slipped into the void created in the market by the downturn of some established South India-based players.
Pratap Kumar Gama. Gama was and continues to rule its roost from its location across the Chennai High Court. Pratap Kumar is one of the most respected old-timers in the industry who refuses to give up the old for the tinsel. Gamma pens are still made following their time-honored traditions and at price points that are unbelievably pocket-friendly. And yes, everything you heard about chief ministers visiting them for the supply and tuning of pens is true.
Subramaniam Asa Pens. Subramaniam, aka Subbu, has done more for the Indian fountain pen industry's revival than most of his contemporaries. It was he who created a user base for hand-turned, 3-in-1 pens fitted with imported nib feed and converters. A one-man army, he has weathered the deluge from uninformed early users only to surface time and again.
Vivek Kulkarni, Urushi, India. Vivek Kulkarni is a technocrat who followed his passion to perfect the art of Urushi lacquering, in the process creating a distinct niche in the Indian fountain pen industry. He has, along with the techniques, also picked up the exacting standards that the Japanese masters set themselves in the eternal quest for perfection.
Honorable mentions: Beena for being there doing it all, Makoba for their sales acumen, Mohi for continuing to churn out quality pens at reasonable prices, Nandish Shah of Stex for creating a niche for crafted metal pens, and Wazir for being the only entity among the manufacturers that is led, from the front, by a lady.